kids have the flu, and your wife lost your job, and so did you, and everything is just turning to shit, and you think you wanna quit, wanna get rid of it all. That's all well and good, but I know a place you can go. Shane got a podcast. It's totally free and it rocks ass. It's a good time, spend it with me. Have a couple of spills, or 1 to 2 or 3. Taking pee breaks. Talking heavy metal news. Good times are coming up right now. Now that right there might be the best one I've ever done. And by the way, I did kind of think about the words before I hit the buttons. Didn't say them exactly the way I wanted to, but I think the Razzies will be happy with that one. Let me just say that, right? The Razzies, remember that Mike Buchanan said my podcast is so good I might win a Razzie for it. Welcome back. Episode 172 of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. I have to tell you, it's my favorite thing to do. With every nightmare and wonderful and magical thing that's happening in the world, it is my favorite thing to do, is sit here and do this podcast with you. So thank you so much. You know, there's a solid 20 of you that are tuning in and listening to the whole thing, or most of the whole thing. And for that, I thank you. I'd like to get 20 million. Can't we just beat Joe Rogan? Can't I just have 1 month where everyone just goes, just as a giggle, dude, just as a giggle, we're going to go and subscribe to Shane's channel and all of it, and beat him on the charts for 1 month? Could that be something? Not in this lifetime, Shane. I'm sorry, but there's nothing we can really do about that. Welcome at 172. Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. A few stories we will not be talking about. Baby metal are going to be hitting the road with Ginger and Bloody Wood. We've talked about that before. We won't be talking about that. Jeff Tate, he's out there rocking it again and doing his thing. We won't be talking about that. Emily Armstrong, when she's talking about how everything was just aligned. I'm reading it right here. When she went into the studio for the first time with the Linkin Park, she said everything seemed so aligned, where it was like so surreal to me. And I'm pretty sure that this new Linkin Park album is going to be a lot of that guy rapping, right? He's like, look, yes, Chester was up here at the top of the pyramid now, but you're down at the bottom. You're on the bottom level. You're down there where they found them structures down below the Giza, Egypt Giza. Did you see that? Oh, by the way, we used some new radar and we went under the pyramid of Giza and we found this big structure down there. Boing! So many things. We were going to get into the Brent Hines thing, but we don't need to get into that. Whatever. I've got my stories lined up, and I think they're pretty good. We're talking about Chris Holmes from WASP, and he says that the Western civilization could be better. Part 2 that he was in. And he's the guy to say that, right? We're talking David Draiman. We're talking Yngwie Malmsteen's freaking multivitamins. He's going to spill a commercial for us. And Iron Maiden have taken the 747 that Bruce Dickinson drove, and I guess they've turned it into keychains or something. They cut it all up and now they're selling it. We're going to get into that. And then the best part, your comments. So join me right now as we dive into the hot news of the week, as far as I'm concerned. And I'm just pickled and tickled that you're here. Let's do it now. Ex-Wasp Man. We are sexual perverts, if you didn't know. That's what the dots are between it. Guitarist, ex-guitarist, Chris Holmes, whom I just love. He's a great guy. Says the decline of the Western civilization part 2, the metal years, could have been way better. Could have been a way better movie. That I watched that recently because it is on Tubi. You can go watch both of Penelope Spheres. I saw that right there. Documentaries, both of them great. One's about punk, and then the second one was about heavy metal, and that's where Chris Holmes was. But former Wasp guitarist Chris Holmes is perhaps best known for his infamous scene in the 1988 movie The Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, in which he was interviewed while floating in a swimming pool, fully clothed and visibly quite intoxicated, while his mother sat poolside. And she said, "Surf's up, son." I think he pours her a drink at some point. She's like, "Oh, I don't want it," but she takes it and just kind of sips it or something. The interview stood out in stark contrast to the more lighthearted and humorous interviews conducted by director Penelope Spheres. It was shocking. That scene in that movie, even as a kid, I was like, oh my God, he's self-destructing, which mostly portrayed rockers as good-natured, though often dim-witted or deluded party animals. During the interview, Holmes smiled drunkenly at the camera, deemed himself I'm a full-blown alcoholic. I'm a piece of crap. Yeah, he did that. And that was the thing that shocked me the most. I was a huge fan of him. I was a younger boy, younger man when that came out. And when he was saying that, I'm a piece of crap, I was like, Chris, you're not a piece of crap, dude. And his mother should have jumped in and said, you are not a piece of crap. You bought this house. Despite his band's success, and punctuated his remarks by guzzling from 3 bottles of vodka at the end of the interview, Holmes upends a full bottle of Smirnoff. And he says, watch what I do. Watch what I do. And someone was saying, that's water in there. And it's like, I don't think so. I don't think he set that whole thing up for, I could see some bands doing that, but not him. He upends a full bottle of Smirnoff over his head, and he rolls out of his inflatable chair and into the water. Asked in a new interview with Don Osborne of Total Rock about the decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, saying, everyone wants to know, right? If you get Chris Holmes on a podcast, you got to say, dude, let's talk about that scene from that movie 30 years ago. To me, the movie is, here's what he says, to me, the movie is, it's a movie that's, I'm not going to say stupid movie. She could have got somebody that lived in L.A. that knows deep underneath the rock scene, that knows a lot about it and filmed it way better. Oh, so he's saying she didn't, and it wasn't all that great, was it? Part 2? Because they talked to a lot of kind of no-name people. Oh, here he goes. She should have asked, film it. Instead, it got where she got the band London. That's what I wanted to read. She could have filmed it in a different way, and it would have been way better. She could have gotten a lot more scenes like that from other people. Referencing some of the musicians who were interviewed for the movie, Chris said, you got Lemmy, Motorhead, sitting there. He ain't drunk and fucked up. You got Steve Tyler, Aerosmith. He ain't drunk and messed up. You got Gene Simmons, Kiss, walking around. Where was he? The porno place? And Paul Stanley, Kiss, laying in bed with the chicks? He's right on the money. Do we agree so far? I think he's right on the money with this. And that's where he says, you get it, Paul Stanley says, you get into a band. He's got them hot chicks laying around him. And the one's bizarrely laying down there like by his ankles, rubbing his calves or whatever, you get into rock and roll because you're thinking with your crotches. It's either money or you're thinking with your crotches. Paul. When Osborne noted, who's that? Dawn Osborne, when she noted that his interview is the one that she still remembers while she has no recollection of the others. Chris said, well, that's why. Because mine was a funny part. That was a funny part. She could have got a bunch more of those if she, She could have got a bunch more of those if she would have talked to me about where to go and what to do. So he thinks his part was the best part. I mean, it was the most intriguing part of the movie. Wouldn't you agree? After Osborne opined, I love that word. That means thinking about things. After Dawn opined that Holmes' scene in the movie has come back in dividends due to it being a highlight of the film. Chris said it probably went to sell Wasp Records, which goes back into somebody's bank account somewhere that I don't know. And about me not getting paid for my appearance in the movie. Spheres said she'd pay me $300. Uh-oh. That she wrote a check to the management. She called me by phone to appear in the film. And she can fucking pay me personally, god damn it. She called me personally to film the scene. So she can pay me personally. Not call me, do a job, and pay the management. Oh, he's getting salsa here. Salsa. Some of that wicked hot stuff. So fuck you, Penelope. You owe me $300. I don't care if you paid the management. I don't care. You could have had them pay them $1 million. You still owe me $300. That's what I look at it. See, I had to read that first because I knew he's going to say it weird. That's what I look at it. That's the way I look at it. You owe me $300. Penelope, pay him the damn. Oh, geez, that's not good. Okay, we're done with that story. Did you see that? It's this, something's going on with this freaking website, man. That freaked me out. Don't do this to me. We might be going straight to comments or something if that keeps happening. Because that freaked me out. Do you see how freaked out I am right now? David Draiman. I thought this was interesting. Anyway, so Chris Holmes, we're over that now. Whatever that is, dudes, you got to get that fixed. Because I hope that didn't zap something onto my, Mike Buchanan, you're a computer whiz. That was just a warning thing. They didn't slide into my systems, did they? It just freaked me out. Disturbs David Draiman sues former landlord over mold that allegedly affected the singer's health. Now that's not good. I think I might have clicked one of these dang ads. And that was my malware bite saying we're blocking that website because there's something fishy going on with it. That's what I think that was. Now, if it affected him, then this needs to happen, okay? If his health was injured, then we need to figure the things out. I don't know where to put my mouse thing now. I'm scared to death that I'm going to hit something the wrong way. According to Law 360, Disturbed frontman David Draiman has filed a lawsuit against his former landlord. I mean, how long has it been since he had a landlord, though? Maybe they'll tell us, but I feel like this has got to be 40 years ago, right? Alleging the mold in a rental home in Coral Gables, Florida, caused him to suffer health issues that negatively affected his singing career. I don't even want to look at these ads. In a lawsuit, which was filed on March 11th in Miami-Dade County Court, Draiman said he'd been paying $18,500 a month for the 5,200 square foot home beginning in December 2022. On or about September 4th of 2024, Draiman submitted that he submitted a claim for termination of the lease, claiming that he had discovered that the house had mold, leaks that weren't previously disclosed to him. He is accusing his former landlord of fraudulent misrepresentation, fraud, unjust enrichment, and negligence. That sounds like that dude is what? Down with the sickness. Let me click this ad out. We got a pop-up over here. It's coming at me. None of the items complained of were disclosed to Draiman by the landlord prior to moving in, and went uncorrected after moving in, such that Draiman had to leave the property since it was not habitable. The lawsuit reads, the inhabitability, only David Draiman could use that word. That's a good word. The inhabitability and mold concerns, among others, resulted in impacts to Mr. David Draiman's singing career, recording the studio time with medical concerns. Recording and studio time, he had medical concerns. The lawsuit adds, the landlord affirmatively made material misrepresentation of material facts to Draiman regarding the property, such as the watertight roof, non-leaking ceiling, and deterioration due to water intrusion. The existence of these defects described above, such as mold and water intrusion, constitute material misrepresentation. It's a very hard word. But I can say it like sweet butter, sweet sugar butter. Misrepresentations to other minor undisclosed defects are, and were equally, dare I say, disturbing. To wit, leaving the dishwasher unattached such that it swung out if used, and failing to place certain elements beneath the refrigerator freezer, causing water damage and more mold. They were not disclosed because they would have dramatically affected the rent and pricing of the property. He's right. They try to swing you on that. Don't tell them about the hole in the floor. Rent's crazy these days. The landlord knew the nature of the defects to the property and was patently aware of the falsity of the material misrepresentations made to Mr. David Draiman. I watch a lot of Price is Right. That's a sweet-looking fridge. You see some of that, everything on there, just old and garbage, you know. I saw a thing where it was like a big wicker dining set or something for outside. And, you know, you're saying, I wouldn't pay $200 damn bucks for that, brand new. And people are going, $999, Bob. And you're like, what? It's so crazy to go back in time and see that. Just the way everyone dresses and everything. You're just like, that was cutting edge. It was a good time. Despite being notified on multiple occasions of necessary repairs, the landlord failed to act in a timely manner. They want the rent in a timely manner, but they never want to do repairs in a timely manner, forcing Draiman to simply move out. The disturbed singer claims he has yet to recover the $37,000 security deposit from the landlord. 3 years ago, Draiman and his then wife and son moved to Miami, Florida after living in Honolulu, Hawaii for a few years. It's great when you can do that, isn't it? Just jump states, jump islands. You know, I'm getting sick of North Carolina. I think it's time to go to Honolulu. 2 years into Honolulu, I can pulled pork and just ocean breeze on you all the time. I think it's time to move to Florida. It's amazing when people can do that, when they have the resources, really is what I say. When they have the resources to live like that, it's got to be wonderful. It has just got to be great. Draiman first announced his family's decision to relocate to Miami in February 2022. Listen here, children, and my beautiful wife-to-be. It is time for us to move to Florida. He explained on his Facebook. Is that David Draiman's, where it shows where he went to high school and all that, or is it like the Disturbed one? Explaining on his Facebook page, we got to take him at that word there, that he and his then wife gave it our best shot, but between the extraordinarily long travel times for business, island fever, and a bunch of other factors, we've decided to move on. He also shared a link to a video tour of his then Honolulu home, which had just been listed. The house has since sold for $6 million. Why are you bitching about $37,000 then? If you got $6 million in the pocket for your house. No, you deserve that money, okay? I apologize. According to public records, in April 2023, Draiman confirmed that he finalized his divorce from his wife of 11 years, Lena Draiman. She says, I will keep the name. The scant 11 years that we had together, I have to tell you, David, I will always keep the last name. And if I get remarried again, it will be Lena Draiman, Dahmer, whatever, Moskowitz, what's some other serial killers? Gacy, Lena Draiman, whatever. What's this? Spanish Moroccan villa, what? In September 2023, Draiman sold his house in Miami suburbs. He got sick of it. Moved from Honolulu to Miami. Says, I've had enough. He sold it for $5 million. David bought the modern Spanish Moroccan villa for $5.22 million. See, I'm so poor, I don't even know what that is. Is that $5.22? Is that what that is? No, it's $5,220,000 in March 2022. Perfect number for that. And first listed it at $5.7 million in January 2023. It was last asking $5.19 million. So he's having to drop the price. Well, we're with you, buddy. We love you. He says, look at me. Are you not entertained by Disturbed? I need to know, fans. Have we not pleasured you in all the right ways tonight with our fantastic Disturbed music? Let's get into this guy. Hey, good news. We didn't have a freaking virus attack on that story. Alex Lifeson says he's lost 40 pounds since his 2023 stomach surgery. I didn't know he got stomach surgery. It's like, okay, interesting. When were you going to say anything to me about it? I did see a clip of Alex Lifeson talking about how rude people can be right after Neil Peart passed away. He said not less than a couple of hours after he passed away, they started getting emails. He goes, from drummers that were saying, hey man, you need a drummer, bro. Get a hold of me. He said it was very rude, Neil Peart wrote all the lyrics too. So he was like not only a badass drummer and co-songwriter with all of them, but wrote the lyrics for the band. All that great stuff. My uncle owns a country place no one knows about. He said it used to be a farm before the motor law. All right, let's get into this real quick. We got Yngwie coming up. We got to watch Bruce Dickinson, and we got your comments. It's just a fun time we're having here. Alex Lifeson says he's lost 40 pounds from stomach surgery. Now, that stuff's risky. You know, when you get those bands put on, and I'm wondering if that's what it is. In a new interview with Greg Prato of All Music, Rush guitarist Alex Lifeson was asked how he's doing health-wise at the moment. How you doing health-wise? How you doing? Yeah, it's me, Greg Prato, from All Music, and I'm asking you, how are you doing this health-wise these days? He's Canadian, right? He says, I went to the clinic. He's a nice guy. He just talks like this. I went to the clinic in January in Austria, in southern Austria, where I live too, called the Vivamere Clinic. It is a wellness clinic that focuses on digestive system, as well as many other things. I mean, they don't just do digestive systems, they do other things too. They have many cancer patients there, and they provide so many different therapies. And it's a very calm and quiet, no phones, no music, not even Rush. It's just about almost zenning out and diving into this. You drink a lot of water, tea, there's no coffee. There's obviously no alcohol, and I looked. And I went because I had surgery in 2023 on my stomach. And it left me with gastroparesis. Okay, so this is... I thought he was going in for the pinchy things, where they just pinch it off. And you say, instead of eating a whole crate of apples now, you just have some apple sauce, half of an apple sauce. Drink a lot of water, tea, coffee, no alcohol. I went because surgery, which is slow motility. So food stays in the stomach for 10 or 12 hours rather than 2 or 3 hours. I don't want that. I need that room. So I really have to eat very carefully. And I have to be very selective about how I eat and not cross that line, because it's hard for me to get back over it. You know, I mean, one mistake cost me 2 or 3 days of discomfort. I was nauseous for a year. A whole year. I was miserable for pretty much a year and a half until I went to Vivamere. They just taught me how to take control of how I'm eating. You could have got some of them Deal-A-Meal cards too. My mother got those. Mama Diablo, she bought the Deal-A-Meal, the Richard Simmons Deal-A-Meal. And you, big packet of cards, and here's all the shit over here. And you can have one of them cards a day, and you got to put it to the other side of the thing. You go, well, I've already had 5 donuts, so I can't have any more breads. You know, just put it over. But I don't think I ever saw her once use it. Not once was it ever out. She loved buying things and never, she loved buying things, let me tell you that. Jesus. Anyways, it's just remarkable. I'm eating what to eat, when to eat. Can you hear that damn laptop just going up and down like it's having a hell time? They just taught me how to control how I'm eating, what to eat, when to eat. It's just remarkable. Because I'm not normally the type of person. I'm lazy and I just don't work hard when it comes to things I don't want to do. But this, for the first time in my life, just changed everything. It's been life-changing for me. Since I went to see them, I've lost about 23 pounds. And I lost another, I think, 15 or 20 before that. So I'm down close to 40 pounds in a year and a half. That's congratulatory. Another thing we won't be talking about is Bon Jovi's official book, Bon Jovi Forever, to be released as hardback bookstore edition. And if I'm careful and I eat properly, I can live happy, a relatively normal life. If I don't, then I suffer. So you can't have a pizza pie party. You know, one of them where you just pig out, mukbang style. So you don't want to feel crappy. I've come to realize that. You sort of take it day by day, but now I don't want to feel crappy anymore. I don't smoke. I don't eat junk. Absolutely no junk. Gluten-free, lactose-free, like all of the stuff, because that's me. It's me. I gave up all that stuff like alcohol and cigarettes and junk food because this is me. That's what I have to do. It's not a choice. This is what I have to do to maintain a decent, comfortable life. I'm proud of you, buddy. Let's take a look at him and say, we're proud. You let me tell you something, you little knucklehead. I'll tell you something right now. You are really good on the guitar. And to spend 50 years with Rush and playing those sweet licks all the time, you're amazing. Yngwie Malmsteen, he's got his multivitamins. Now, I take a multivitamin. I told you this. I'm out of my Centrum. So I've been buying, and I know someone's going to say, oh, that's not good. But I've been buying those convenience store, multivitamin packs. And so if he sells this properly, I might buy some. But I see it's gummies. And that already doesn't get me going there. There he is. He's looking great, He's looking good. And he's got, what has he got down here, guys? Say it with me. He's got a banana yellow. He loves them banana yellow guitars. He says, make sure the mixing board is behind me because I want them to know that I'm... Oh, you caught me at a moment when I had my banana yellow here and I was playing it and I was just recording something, so I spun around in my leather chair and after I twist some knobs on there and I spun around and then you snapped the photo and here I am. Multivitamins. Yngwie Malmsteen talks about his line of multivitamin supplement gummies. It really works. It really, really, really does. During an appearance on the March 19th episode of Sirius XM's Trunk Nation with Eddie Junk in the Trunk, legendary Swedish guitarist Yngwie Malmsteen was asked about his decision to... let me ask you about your decision to step into the world of health and wellness with your latest creation. Could you please tell me about your latest creation that's part of the health and wellness sector? You hear that? That laptop's... I hope that's not that dang virus going, yeah, we're soaking you dry right now, bud. And it's like I don't even go to any of the dirty sites or nothing like that. Isn't that where you're supposed to get computer bugs, is when you go to the kinky websites? I'm just a middle-aged guy looking at news stories. Let me ask you, what I just said there. Yngwie Malmsteen's Force multivitamin supplement gummies, he said, is transcribed, well, in order for me to be in a good health, you need to take supplements. And I've always done that, just like me. And so that's a reason I put my line out, is because I want other people to do it too. And it really works. I highly recommend it. I don't have enough of that Swedish Muppet in my voice. When Mr. Host Eddie Trunk noted that it's a nice move. I have to tell you, it's a nice move. Yngwie,
Yngwie, I have to tell you, it's a nice move to go to the health conscious stuff. The go health conscious route instead of doing what many other rock musicians have done by releasing their own line of liquors and beers and weeds.
Malmsteen said,
Well, don't you? I know it. Because that's what I do. I don't drink. I don't do drug. I don't believe in it. Listen, if you want to do that, go ahead. But be my guest if you want to, but I prefer not to do it. And I also think it's great to let people know. Take your vitamins. And it really works.
According to the post, to a post on the Swedish musician's official merchandise web store,
Yngwie's focus on peak performance extends beyond the music and into personal well-being. His new line of multivitamin gummies is designed for those who like him, and who, like him, demand the best from their bodies. I need it to be in good shape. With his bold stage presence and lifestyle fueled by passion and intensity, Yngwie knows the importance of maintaining energy and health and strength.
too, Yngwie.
These multivitamin gummies are packed with essential vitamins and nutrients.
Minerals? Do we got minerals in there?
Providing the perfect boost to keep anyone feeling powerful and focused, ready to conquer the day. Yngwie believes that feeling good and healthy is vital. Whether you're shredding on the guitar or managing daily life, like your common people, doing bills.
Because that's all it is. For the poor folk, that's all it is just paying bills and worrying about bills.
Shredding the guitar, these gummies are formulated to support a strong immune system, enhanced energy levels for punching and kicking and whatever, and promote overall wellness. All in a tasty, rockstar approved form.
What's the taste, you ask? You've got your finger hovering over the buy button for it, and you're saying, what do they taste like? Gummies are packed in a bottle of 50 and come in 3 delicious flavors. Cherry, raspberry, I'd probably get the raspberry ones if I was going to pick, and strawberry. Each bottle costs $39.99. I want a rock hard everything for $39.99. You hear me? If I'm paying $39.99, I want every damn thing to be rocking. In August 2023, in August 23, 2024 post on his official
Yngwie Facebook page.
They all got him, don't they? They love Facebook. Who's that one guy, that lizard? Owns it. Has his own little island out there. I mean, everybody's information. I've got everybody's information. In August 2020, Facebook, the man himself says Yngwie shared a picture on of his guitar along with 3 of his vitamin gummies. I'm going to say it was a cherry, a raspberry, and a strawberry. And he included the following message.
The secret to my force, are you wondering that? Are you absolutely wondering what is the secret to my force and the past 40 years? Isn't what you think. Not practice and talent and all that. It's vitamins. I am super health conscious. I wake up early, play tennis. Very good. 40 love.
Is that what they say? I never understood the scores on that. Could someone get in the comments for next episode and tell me how the hell the scoring goes for?
It's 5 love. It's 40 love.
I just figured out that as soon as they say 40 love, they walk over and start shaking hands. And I go, well, one of them won. Usually it's the more sweaty, aggressive one going, you know. It's the guys I like.
It's vitamins. Don't you see? I am super health conscious. I wake up early, play tennis, take my vitamins, drive my car, spend time with my family.
That's like the 5th down the line is spend time with the family.
And make music for you guys.
As previously reported, Yngwie will release a new live album, Tokyo Live, on April 25th via Music Theories Recordings. The concert was recorded at the Zep Diver City, Tokyo on May 11, 2024 as part of Yngwie's 40th anniversary world tour. I'm scared to click anything now. But there he is. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Bruce Dickinson. He says, behold, you see that I have something that looks like a dog tag from the American Army, but it is not. Nay, no, it's copyright. I can't use that form. But it is a kind of keychain type situation made out of my 747. I mean, any way you can get the money, right? And I'm not saying it's a great way. It's very eco-friendly, right? Instead of having a big goddamn plane, they carve it all up into little bits. And then they send it off, hammer it out, melt it, remelt it, something. This thing's popping up in the corner, and that's freaking me out. Turn you off. Jesus. Anyways. What the hell is that? I don't need that. I'm waiting for it to give me the little X. You know the little X that you get in the corner to say, I'm done with it. There it is. Fuck you. Watch. We're going to watch, guys, and then we're going to get into your comments. You'll love it. You're happy about it. Bruce Dickinson talks about Iron Maiden's plane being cut into pieces and put up for sale. I'm glad that they did that. Very eco-friendly if they're telling the truth. And it's like, nah. We ain't gonna tear this whole thing apart and melt it up and turn it into fucking keychains for you, pal. It ain't gonna happen. So you're gonna have to lie to your fans and just get these little metal shithead things made. Now it's the real thing now, all right? German company. Is it Aviation Tag? German company Aviation Tag, which specializes in upcycling scrapped airplanes. I take back everything I said. They are indeed going to do it. Has created a limited run of you feel like there wouldn't be a limited run. 747 though, right? I'll continue. They have created a limited run of one-of-a-kind tags made from the fuselage of Ed Force One, the moniker given the plane that served Iron Maiden on its 2016 The Book of Souls World Tour. And I saw that tour. I want to say Ghost opened that. I was going for Maiden, though. And Ghost, but, you know. And I want to say Coheed and Cambria was on that, too. Was that right or wrong? Or I don't know. Are you just pulling your hair out right now? You're just saying, God damn it, I can't take another fucking episode of this guy. It's not a real podcast. It's an experience. You're having an experience, a life, a one-of-a-kind experience with me right now. The special edition celebrates the spectacular and storied history of Iron Maiden's legendary flying tour bus, the Boeing 747 Ed Force One. let's just get into it. He's going to just tell us about it. Unless... And as I say always when we do a video, is if you see this, great. But if you don't see it, you know that they tried to goddamn ding my whole video for it. And when I say ding, I mean take all the money for. It's my $2. Here we go.
Funny things you get in the post. It says aviation tag. Original aircraft skin. This is a very small piece of a Boeing 747. Not just any old Boeing 747, but the Boeing 747.
That you drove? Bruce, you drove that.
So I could fly Iron Maiden around the world.
Oh,
this
that's
is a
cool.
bit of the airplane. It's been turned into something entirely more useful.
Oh, he's fun. This is 4 minutes long, but I get nervous with the, hey, look, there's me. Let's look at that for a little bit. Oh, that's old post-mortem superstar there. That's the first time that's ever happened, isn't it? Bill Burr, and who's that guy? That's Ink Master. All right, let's get into your comments. I think we're done. I think we're done with that. I think are we all on board with that? You agree that we're done with all that shit now? And we're on to this? This week's episode of the Y... This is Johnny B coming in here. The Y Files. A spin-off of the X Files, but only Y. Okay. And there's another podcast, YouTube channel, called The Y Files, as in the word Y, Files. I only have one file compared to their many files. Yes. The Y Files, and you are the Y File. I like that. Because there's only one folder, baby. There's only one file. It's called humanity. And that file doesn't even exist. Right? We're going to discuss okay, here we go. Oh, we're going to discuss the moon? I only have one file compared to the many files. We're going to discuss the moon. There is an awesome episode on this very topic produced by Casper's site, and he has an awesome paranormal and UFO YouTube channel that's not only very informative, but extremely funny as well. Okay? There are a lot of, they go paranormal hunting and he falls through the floor. I've always wanted to see that happen. I watch all the paranormal shows. They go, we're over here at the old hospital. And I'm just waiting for the floor to give out on him. One time, just please. Remember earlier when that ghost of Frederick was saying, stay away from the third floor? We caught it on the EVPs. And now Charlie's dead. Charlie, are you here? Let's get him on the EVP. There are a lot of strange things. Okay, very informative, very funny as well. There are a lot of strange things going on up there, including, but not limited to, orb sightings, UFO, UAP sightings. The claim that it's hollow and that it's actually a hologram. Hal Puthoff, the world's leading expert on the moon. I mean, but how do you become, if you've only got the same knowledge that we do other than math, has he lived up there? That's what I'm saying. Hal Puthoff, has actually mapped it for the lunar landing and has stated that there are structures and buildings up there that are extremely old. Crazy stuff. Last week I mentioned the new documentary Age of Disclosure and that it's the same old when it came to new info. I too was under the impression that it was going to be the biggest and most informative doc on the subject, but instead it was everything we've already heard. Believe it or not, Shane, the video you did about Olivia Newton-Orb has more evidence in it than the documentary. I know, but no one will watch it. And by the way, she's gone. She's gone. I better learn how to make she's gone. What went wrong? She's gone, just like that. Hasn't been around for a week or so. Every night, open the blind. Now, I'm still seeing weird shit all the time. But she is not around. And I hope she comes back. Because if you read the lyrics to Magic by Olivia Newton-John, it's like that orb was saying all that shit to me. Every bit of it. Come take my hand. You should know me. I've always been on your mind. I mean, it's just... I've listened to that song, Olivia Newton-John Magic, probably 10 times this week. Anyways, the video you did about Olivia Newton Orb, anyone listening to this damn podcast that's listened to it for the first time, go watch that video, if you don't mind, please. Has more evidence in it than that documentary. It's all become a cash grab for people who claim to have clout due to their resume. Or they do it for a living. Instead of evidence and proof, they rely on the trust me bro narrative. Yeah, I don't do that. I do facts. That's what I do. You know, I still would be going, I don't know if it wasn't happening to me. And then I go, look, I'm not stupid. I'm not crazy. I'm not, you know, I know what I see. That's why I like it when you guys get in the comments and go, we're with you. I've seen it too, you know. The trust me bro narrative. And get rid of those friends too, by the way. Anyone that says, I'll pay you back, dude, trust me, bro. Just, you know, all of it. Whatever they want to borrow, don't do it. That has been played out. My hopes are to find people like you, Shane, who are posting their evidence and sightings for all to see and report on them here in my comments. Short segment, kinda. I hope everyone finds it very interesting. I put in very. But let's face it. I'm going to click those things out, guys. You don't mind? I just want to. I don't think you're going to even notice, but I want to get. I'm still nervous about, you know. Those things wouldn't happen if Olivia was still around. That's all I'm saying. All right, Johnny B in here. We're going Don Dockin. He's talking Don Dockin. We are out of orb news. I got nothing to report. I'm stoked. I'm loving it. I mean, I'm seeing shit all the time, you know, and it gets to the point now when I say anything, when I'm like, oh, and I saw this, and I saw that. I was just like, But what's happened is I've opened myself up to the phenomena. I've said, you're welcome. I invite you. I mean, I've even told them, you can pop into the house, you know. Just don't scare me when I'm fucking downstairs in the dark, getting my peanut butter bread before nighttime. Don't do that to me, but you're welcome to stand out in some shrubbery somewhere where I catch a glimpse of you and then say, do you mind if I come over and speak with you, Shane? And I say, absolutely, bro. Come on over. Let's get on to it. When can I get on the ship? Well, you can't. Your physical density is not, you know. I'm down for all of it. That's all I'm saying is I'm down. But you know that because I say that every damn time. Johnny B on Don Dockin was pretty unreliable, has a pretty unreliable past of telling then truth about what happened in Dockin. I heard him talking to Dean Del Rey about his time in the band and how they made fun of him and how he would cry himself to sleep in his bunk on the tour bus. My God, Don. I guess it depends on who you believe. They were a good band, like 3 to 5 years tops, and all that drama isn't that interesting. Funny? Yes, but a little played out. He used to cry himself to sleep. I had this boss for a year. I mean, he was just the worst fucking boss. They said, you're out of here. Jesus, get your shit and get out. But he was telling me one time, he's like, I have these, he had a real high-pitched voice. He said, I have these real, you know, he was a real, he used to say that he was I used to work for the CIA. One of those types. But he was telling a story. This relates to Don Dockin crying on the bunk, because he said that
My wife and son treated me so badly, I spent 4 months laying in bed crying, and I never even got out of bed.
And, you know, I feel bad for that, but if you knew this guy, you wouldn't feel bad for it. You wouldn't at all. I got another story about him I could tell you, but I'll do that. I'll save that for another time. But yeah, and then he says, and then I got a divorce or whatever, and they moved away, and they didn't want nothing to do with him. He's out of nowhere. The son says, Daddy, I need a motorcycle. And he says, so I thought this would build, connect the links back together, build the bridge. And I bought him the motorcycle, and he never talked to me again. They're using you, buddy. Your own damn family using you. Not good. Johnny B comes in with Rob. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rob. Yeah. Zombie is a damn treasure, isn't he? I love his Halloween remake movies and always had a deep admiration for his music and artistic style. You can't say he was unoriginal. And now a coloring book for the kids? Fan-damn-tastic. I'm thinking about getting one for my wife for her birthday. She's a big fan of his art, but not so much his music. All in the eye of the beholder. Does she like that artwork that he did on that when he was lerping around the set of Headbangers Ball there for like a year? Remember that? Anyone watched Headbangers Ball? And Rob Zombie was back there painting a pole for like a year. Like, oh, Rob's here. He's painting. Brilliant strategy. You start going, who the fuck is that guy? White Zombie did. What that one kid said. Sounds like Metallica and fucking something mixed together. I was like, that don't sound nothing like that. Johnny B, I got to start getting through this shit. We got more people to get to. Yeah, get her the book, It's a loving thing to do. Johnny B says, okay, this is it for me. I hope everyone has a tremendous weekend and week. And until next time, keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep it bitchy. Oops. I slipped Miss Althea's. Love it. Yeah, Miss Althea's tagline, keeping it bitchy. Oh, he's got a PS here. Postscript. When Tool get back from their little stint in South America and Mexico, they are going to hit the studio and or begin writing a new album. Just a little news I heard through a reliable grapevine close to the band. Oh, see him throwing that out? Someone close to the band told me that. Can someone tell me? I didn't even look into it, but they were booed at their festival thing that they were going to do. And then what else happened? Something else happened too at that damn thing. Guess what, guys? Bathroom. Yay! John Cole Kithis, you are the winner of the bathroom break. Congrats. We came out of Johnny B into John Cole Kithis. And he's the lucky guy that got the bathroom break. So here we go. Oh, John, to me, Danzig seems like a guy who will perform until his last breath like Lemmy. I don't see him doing a farewell tour or a final show at all. I agree with his opinion on bands coming back after the final tour. Bands like Motley Crue, Kiss, Twisted Sister, and Ozzy did that, and in the process have ruined their reputation amongst die-hard fans. And I don't think Glenn would want to experience that. He's going for Dokken here. I'm kind of in the middle. I believe that Don wrote more than the other members, but not entirely by himself. Some of the riffs and solos were written by George, as he was more into heavier stuff. Yeah, didn't they say that he was like, oh, he was into Monster Magnet and shit, and I was listening to something else. Don mostly focused on melodies and choruses since he's a master at melodicness. How you doing? Don Dockin, master of melodicness. I love it. Regardless, I think it's fair that Don split the credit amongst the entire band. Lastly, Gene Simmons charging over $12,000 to be his assistant for a day is both funny and embarrassing. The only situation I believe that price would be worth it is if you can be his assistant for the entire tour. That's right. But man, you'd be miserable. You would not like Gene Simmons by the end of that. If you went out for a full tour and you paid for it, 2 days in, those guys they're done with you. That band's done with you. The hey buddy is gone. And you're like, I want my money back. And Gene Simmons, hey, listen here, buddy. You fucking paid for it. You paid the price and that's it. Oh yeah, you ain't getting a damn dollar back. You made that entire thing miserable for me. Spooling all them cables and packing and loading stuff like that. And I paid. I don't give two shits. Been a Kiss fan since I was 10, and it's sad to see how Gene's ego and money-making tactics have worsened the last few years. Looking forward to your next episode, Shane. Wonderful. Fantastic. Big Tone coming in here. Says, Brother Shane, make no mistake. We're with you. You are not hard to find. More people need to discover the magic of Jive Talkin. The computer cursor, blue circle, is most likely a conflict with an app or program stuck in communication with your PC. You can reboot, and that usually addresses the problem. You can also change the cursor appearance. No, you can? I don't like the little hand. You can also change the cursor appearance in the control panel settings. I'm positive you can find a short YouTube vid to assist. It's a very simple fix. And next on my list, Jeff Pilson is a solid guy whose credibility regarding the whole Dockin greed should be trusted. It's obviously the original members are done with Don. Too bad. I mean, yeah, that's basically what happened is they all ran away from him. He was there's a clip. MTV did when the first Monsters of Rock. You remember that tour that had Van Halen, Doc, and Kingdom Come, Metallica, Scorpions, I think. That was the 5 bands that was on it. They were doing these little clip-it interviews and stuff. And I remember one with Don Dokken and Mick Brown, it might have been. But he was extremely irritating. I mean, he was just like, he seemed like he was really trying to go, and really try and fit in, you know. It was weird. Look that up if you can find it. Monsters of Rock, that first one that they did. They are one of the bands that I worked security for back in the heyday. And I really like the music. Gene Simmons, being Gene Simmons, maybe he needs extra wig tenders. Rob Zombie is good to the fans, and R.I.P. Paul Di'Anno again. Big Tone says, I'm still on the road to recovery, but I don't have as many miles left to go. Thanks for the well wishes, brother. Keep them coming. Well, I'm going to send you some right now, Miyagi style. Show me Santa Claus. You find another podcast where they do that to you. They send out that great energy to you. You ain't going to find it. You're not going to find it. You just keep looking. You're never going to find it. There you go, buddy. Miss Althea coming in here, and I told myself, I wonder if she's going to use her tagline. And I saw it. Miss Althea, the dumbstruck fool, says Danzig and the matter of farewell tours that really aren't. I actually agree with him on this one. I saw Kiss for the last time in October 2000, a tour that was advertised and deemed as farewell. That's the last time I saw him. And then look what happened. I will leave the topic at that, as I have expressed my feelings on the matter in comments on this channel probably about 100 times now. Miss Althea on Don Dawkin. Is there a fine line here between appeasing and feeling bullied? I don't know. Either Don is deliberately looking to start shit to concur with Jeff Pilson, or I am simply not understanding the dynamics of the situation. And the music business, clearly. I read that bad, but yeah. I suspect the very famous song guy, he was referring to, because I wondered about that. I suspect the very famous song guy he was referring to was Desmond Child. We're gonna all night. He did a lot of Kiss songs. Who wrote a lot of hits for a lot of rock metal bands in the 80s. Yeah, he's got a list of tunes that he's done for bands. Miss Althea on Gene Simmons, Roadie for a Day. I am totally sick of that story after it being posted multiple times on Reddit. I thought you only posted something once on there. Once was more than enough. It's so obnoxious. In my world, $12K equates to about 8 months of mortgage payments, right? And you just set your mind at ease for 8 months on the mortgage? You're like, what are we going to do with ourselves? We don't have to work our blood and bone and guts and sinew all over. Sorry about that. Jeez. What am I doing? 8 months of mortgage payments, hauling around his or anyone else's shit, and that includes my beloved Eric, if he were living, is not worth defaulting on my home. But hey, if some rich enough fans are willing to go broke enough, fans are desperate for a piece of that action. The more power to them. Just hope it was worth the investment. Yeah, I'm telling you. The whole thing about that is that, and we bring you out on stage because Gene Simmons is going to go, this fucking guy right here just paid $12,000 to lug my shit all day. And he'll do it every night. And you, hi. But if you're a good, maybe this dude's in a freaking, he's got some diamond rings on his shit. He's like, yeah, look at this. I'm going to do it every week, every day this week. I bought enough tickets. I don't know. Miss Althea on Steve Harris and Paul Diano. I got a huge smile and laugh out of the revelation that Paul would dress up as Adam Ant. Adam and the Ants to this day are on my top of my list of 80s new wave faves. King of the Wild Frontier and Prince Charming are outstanding albums. I love him. And another hit from Adam Ant that it's way old now, but he had gone away for a little bit. And that song, Wonderful. Have you heard that? Did I tell you you're wonderful? I miss you. It's like, God damn it, there's Adam Ant again. And I also like that he had it was like a whole, didn't he have like 3 drummers, 2 drummers and like a bass player? And, it had that feel to it. I love me some Adam Ant. And he also wrote songs that weren't quite as, like we were talking before about verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. Some of Adam Ant's stuff was maybe English. Maybe the English do that more. I don't know. Miss Althea on Rob Zombie. This laptop is just driving me batty. Miss Althea on Rob Zombie. $40 for a horror-themed spelling book. Brilliant. Janine is the name of the porn actress you lost your girly drink over. I lost my shirt. I lost my mind that night. The same Janine who was in a leaked Sex tape with Vince Neil? Really? Oh. The same Janine who was married to and procreated with Monster Garage's Jesse James, who then later married Sandra Bullock. What? The motorcycle dude that made those like undrivable motorcycles or whatever, he was married to Janine and then he's married to Sandra Bullock now? I have shifted timelines. I have. That's insane. Are they still married? Oh yeah, and he was also on The Celebrity Apprentice. Too many tidbits in one sitting? I need more of that. Sandra Bullock. I always just thought she was like Marianne from Gilligan's Island. You know what I mean? Just beautiful, but there was a wholesomeness. And now she's with this dirty old Jesse James. And we got to read that line again because she's got her line right here. Oh yeah, and he was also on Celebrity Apprentice. Too many tidbits in one sitting? Keeping it bitchy. Peace sign. Slight modification to my original proposed tagline. Keeping it bitchy. Great. Thank you, Miss Althea. We got Mike Buchanan coming in here. He's got his goodies. Should we just get Christian out of the way? You know, he's in Torn Sky. You ever hear of them? Done them on the first listens. He says, "Rocket, brother." And he's got a heavy metal emoticons up. There you go, buddy. And then we'll just finish it out with Mr. Michael 69er. About a month ago, you did a video of White Sister and their song April Fool from a movie, and I said I hadn't done a review of that one yet. Much like you, I wouldn't think. I have whiteboard with a list of movies that I am going through, and yes, I have watched all of them. Why don't you have a little app on your phone instead of a great big wall of freaking whiteboard? You could just get a little app on your phone. Do you do the Lunchbox? I never watch enough movies, but I always wanted to get that app Lunchbox so I could do movie reviews on it. And then people follow you and like you and read your reviews. Is this the first time you're hearing about Lunchbox? You should check it out. And yes, I watched all of them. Well, that video just happened to pop up on my feed, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that one. So with that, I give you this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways. Killer Party. Yes, 1986. Bizarre movie where the aforementioned video from White Sister just breaks out of nowhere in the movie. So that was the clip from the movie. I thought it was, but wasn't for sure. I thought they spliced some shit in there or something. One of my many inexplicable guilty pleasures, an utterly bizarre mid-'80s Canadian-produced kitchen sink of a horror movie with about every trite and overused genre theme and cliche tossed together into a steaming stew of knuckle-headed nonsense. I'm reading this very well. A silly and slapdash, messy melding of slasher film, sappy seriety shenanigans, and demon possession movies. Literally something for everyone, as long as the everyone in question are indiscriminating moviegoers with low expectations and no discernible taste. I'm really doing well. A bunch of low-rent college hooligans and hooliganesses decided to hold a hazing party in an abandoned fraternity house with the usual predictable results. The slasher killer here wanders around doing his dirty work while dressed up in a deep-sea diver's getup, helmet and all, using an assortment of fun weapons, pretty much anything you can get your hands on, machete, harpoon gun. Got to do the harpoon gun. Got to reel them in with a big fishnet. A hammer, even a trident. Hysterically insane, which makes it all the more enjoyable. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play. Very good there. Yeah. First, let's Mike Buchanan still. Okay, guys, we're still with him here. First, that thing is just honk, honk, honk. I got to get some of that freaking air, spray air that you have to get from a guy behind the counter. What the fuck is that all about? It's in a compressed air. I got to fucking have you come over and get a fucking key. I ain't got time for that at work. First, let's talk about sabotage if they actually do go back to the old, heavier days. I will be over the moon happy. How do you follow up Hall of the Mountain King? Well, for me, it was Gutter Ballet, that's for sure. A tale of two different bands, one old school metal and one progressive symphonic. And then when John stopped being the lead vocalist, I kind of just wrote the band off, wrote off the band. Okay, back to Shane's regularly scheduled podcast. I mean, that's what happened to me. I really liked Streets too. I mean, it is a rock opera, but and there's a lot of cheese on it. But I like that record too. But as soon as he left, I was like, I heard the radio when they said, "Here it is, get ready, we got the brand new Sabotage. It's called Edge of Thorns." And it was a good tune, but I know Sabotage from John's voice. Same thing as like Nevermore. That is not going to be what it is. Interestingly enough, a story we're not talking about in this podcast is this, I believe his name, the singer for Sabotage, says he gets more shit on the Sabotage websites about being in the band and singing for the band than he does on Blabbermouth or anywhere else. Mike Buchanan says, here we go. Okay, back to Shane's regularly scheduled podcast. I know that Glenn won't come anywhere near me during the tour, but if he does, I think I would go see him perform. And now Mike Buchanan says, I used to donate plasma. The only issue I had with it was the length of time it took to get it done. Is it grisly? Is it long? But that could have just been me and my body being slow. I mean, I've given blood before, but it's been years because I'm just like, they ain't going to want none of this. This is old dirty juice in here. I'm trying to clean it up. You know, my liver is just thanking me. It does cartwheels that I quit drinking alcohol. It's like, right on, dude. Thank you. And let's face it, guys, you got to take care of your meat sack. I've ruined mine. That's no reason why you have to ruin yours, okay? Stop what you're doing now. If you got bad habits, stop it, because you want to keep a good, healthy meat sack. Yeah, it's not the last one you're going to have. You're going to go and experience all sorts of wonderful things after you leave your meat sack, but you still want to take care of it and live as long as you can. Let's see. On Dawkin, Mike says, these guys all try their best to say that I wrote that song. All about the Benjamins. Probably the biggest reason why bands break up. 100%. It's always money. You start out, you're rocking it, you're loving it, and then all of a sudden a little bit of money comes. Look, it starts in the clubs. Did we get paid tonight? I don't want to put that money towards band merchandise and shit. Do we get paid? I got to get gas for my car. You know, it starts right away. And if it's like, oh, this is your band and we're just in it and we don't get to have equal treats, pisses people off. Mike Buchanan on Gene. Just another way that he is trying to make more money. Doesn't he have enough? Or is he broke and desperate? R.I.P. to Paul Diano. Shane, you went to a topless bar shocked. Not saying that I never went to one, but I'm shocked. Well, I frequented a few of them, but I just felt like, you know, there's something about, they're all beautiful and everything, but when they come up to you and they're smiling and they're looking at you like, I want you, and you're just going, You wouldn't talk to me if I was outside of this place. But $1, you scoot $1 across the table like, you know, they make you feel. That's why my buddy he was crazy with it. He said, she loves me, dude. No, she loves the 200 ones that you got on the table there that you clearly show them. Oh, I'm going to spend all of this on you ladies tonight. They love you to death because that's a job for them. That's how they make a living. And it's, and I've always been like 100% groovy and down with it. You do it. You do you. If you're into that and you want to do that, then do it. But I just always felt, even 17 daiquiris in, well, I'd say it's usually 2 or 3 daiquiris. That night when I went crazy, it was a lot of drinks. But usually I just go, let's go somewhere else, because it's like, what they hope for is that they're going to spend the $200 and then she's going to go, hey, Tiger, where do you think you're going? You're not going home tonight. You're going home with me. And that's never going to happen. I'm just telling you, if you're watching this podcast right now and you think the hot lady at the sexy bar thinks you're great, she probably don't. But she just likes your money. And it's understandable because it's her job. And now it's time for Jive Talkin Jokes of the Week provided by Mike Buchanan. I almost called you Mark Buchanan. In this morning's news, a truck loaded with Vicks VapoRub overturned on the freeway. The police have confirmed there will be no congestion for at least the next 8 hours. Germany is now advising people to stock up on cheese and sausages. This is called the worst case scenario. But it's like worse, like bratwurst. In 3,025 years, life will either be really good or really bad. It's 50-50 either way. Is that a math one? I don't know. Isn't it great though? It's like, oh, that's just a scant 1,000 years away. We got all the time in the world, right? And finally, I asked my wife to describe me in 5 words. She said, I'm mature, I'm moral, I'm pure, I'm polite, and I'm perfect. Then she added that I also had no idea how to use apostrophes and spaces. Immature, immoral, impure, impolite, imperfect. I used my brain and I figured it out. All right, thank you guys. Tune in next week and God knows what'll happen. But for now, we are going to call it a day. We're going to get out of here with a tune. I'm wishing you all the best. I'd love to hear from anybody out there that is actually tried out my method of talking to the sky. It's a weird thing to do at first if you're not used to it. It's just looking up at the sky and going, hello, because you find yourself looking around like, is anybody looking at me? You go, hello. Are you out there? Can you see me? Will you be my friend? I am inviting you to speak with me. If you're true about it, a lot of times you'll see something. And once it starts, it's every once in a while you go, what the hell was that thing flying by? It's so wonderful, really. I love the idea of magic. And another thing that I find very interesting about this whole scenario, if we are speaking on the alien topic, is from what I can gather, people that might be like, Jesus, but Jesus, it's like, yeah, it all makes sense. All of that makes sense. There was a Jesus. You can worship Jesus. You can be or whatever your God of flavor is. because he was kind of waking up to the idea of the glowing balls in the sky or whatever. And then they says, yeah, axe him. We got to get him out. We got to get him out. He turns over the tables because it's big business, man. You know, and that's what he was saying is love thy neighbor and treat everyone good and be a good person. Don't be a dickhead, right? I think that's what he said. I don't know. This isn't about, I don't want to have to bring a goddamn pipe organ in here and start saying hallelujah every week. But I just find it very fascinating. No! We're going to get out with a song. Get it up, slap it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, girl. Come on now. Jive Talkin, motherfucker. Yeah! Oh! Jive Talkin with Shane D. Get your motherfucking heavy metal news experience for free. Come on girl, get over here now. Get yourself an earbuds, put yourself on earbuds, put them in your ears now.